Welcome history buffs and curious minds to a story that feels like a science fiction thriller but is tragically real. Today, we're journeying back to the Soviet Union of the 1980s, to a place whose name has become synonymous with catastrophe. Chernobyl. Imagine a brand new city, Pripyat, built in the 1970s in what is now Ukraine. It was a model Soviet city, home to the families of workers at the nearby Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Construction on the plant began in 1970, a marvel of Soviet engineering featuring 4 powerful RBMK reactors. The first one went online in 1977, and by 1983 all 4 were operational, including the fateful reactor number 4. The plant was a symbol of progress, a beacon of the nuclear age, providing power to millions. Little did anyone know it was a ticking time bomb, built with inherent design flaws that would soon be tragically exposed. The night of April 25, 1986 started like any other. The engineers at reactor number 4 were scheduled to run a routine safety test. The goal was simple, to see if the reactor's turbines could still generate enough power to keep the cooling pumps running during a complete power outage, just until the backup generators kicked in. It was a test designed to improve safety. The irony is haunting. To conduct this experiment, the operators had to disable several crucial automatic safety systems, essentially taking the reactor's brain offline. They were flying blind, unaware that they were pushing the reactor into an extremely unstable state. At precisely 1:23 in the morning on April 26th, the experiment went catastrophically wrong. A combination of human error and those critical design flaws created an uncontrollable power surge. Within seconds, the reactor's power output skyrocketed to over 100 times its normal capacity. 2 massive explosions ripped through the core of reactor 4. The first was a steam explosion, the second a hydrogen explosion, which blew the 2,000-ton lid clean off the reactor. The graphite core was now exposed to the air, and it caught fire. This wasn't just a fire, it was a nuclear inferno, spewing a colossal plume of radioactive material directly into the atmosphere. The night sky over Pripyat glowed with an eerie, beautiful, and deadly light. The amount of radiation released was staggering, an estimated 400 times more than the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. A new, invisible war had just begun. In the immediate aftermath, confusion reigned. The Soviet government, in a move that would define the early days of the crisis, tried to conceal the true scale of the disaster. They downplayed the incident, both to their own people and to the rest of the world. While firefighters, who had no idea they were running into a radioactive furnace, battled the blaze, the residents of nearby Pripyat slept, oblivious to the invisible poison filling the air. It wasn't until a full 36 hours after the explosion that the evacuation of the city began. On April 27th, a fleet of buses arrived, and the 49,000 residents were told to pack only what was necessary for a 3-day trip. They would never return. Their homes, their possessions, their lives, all left behind, frozen in time. As the truth began to leak out, a monumental cleanup operation was launched. Around 600,000 people from all over the Soviet Union, known as liquidators, were sent into the breach. These were soldiers, miners, scientists, and volunteers. They were the heroes who faced unimaginable danger to contain the fallout. They flew helicopters over the burning reactor, dropping sand, lead, and boron to smother the flames. They manually cleared radioactive debris from the roof of the adjacent reactor. They dug a tunnel beneath the molten core to prevent a further, even more catastrophic meltdown. Their courage saved millions of lives, but many paid the ultimate price, or suffered from severe health problems for the rest of their days. In the first few months alone, 31 plant workers and first responders died directly from the explosion or acute radiation sickness. The radioactive cloud didn't respect borders. It drifted on the winds, spreading across Europe. Belarus, just to the north of Ukraine, received about 70% of the fallout. Contamination was detected as far away as Scandinavia, where Swedish scientists were actually the first to alert the world to the unfolding disaster. The ecological and agricultural impact was immense. In the months that followed, a frantic effort was made to contain the still smoldering reactor. A massive concrete and steel shell, known as the sarcophagus, was hastily constructed over the ruins of Reactor 4. It was a temporary fix, a concrete tomb built under extreme conditions to entomb the radioactive heart of the disaster. The Chernobyl disaster wasn't just a nuclear accident, it was a political one. The secrecy and initial cover-up shattered the Soviet people's faith in their government. It became a powerful symbol of the system's failings and is widely seen as a major factor that accelerated Mikhail Gorbachev's policy of glasnost, or transparency. Some historians even argue that the enormous cost of the cleanup and the political fallout contributed to the eventual collapse of the Soviet Union just 5 years later. It was a disaster that literally brought an empire to its knees. For decades, the original hastily built sarcophagus stood guard, but it was deteriorating. The world knew a more permanent solution was needed. So, in an unprecedented international effort, a new structure was designed and built. In 2016, the new safe confinement, a gigantic steel arch larger than the Statue of Liberty and heavier than the Eiffel Tower, was slowly slid into place over the old sarcophagus. This incredible feat of engineering is designed to safely contain the site for at least the next 100 years, allowing for the eventual dismantling of the destroyed reactor. It stands as a testament to global cooperation in the face of a shared threat. Today, a 30-kilometer exclusion zone still surrounds the Chernobyl plant. It is a strange and haunting place. While some areas remain dangerously radioactive, nature has reclaimed the abandoned city of Pripyat. Trees grow through the floors of empty apartments, and wildlife roams the deserted streets. The zone has become a unique, albeit tragic, natural laboratory for scientists studying the long-term effects of radiation on ecosystems. Chernobyl serves as a chilling, powerful reminder of the immense power we've unlocked with nuclear energy and the catastrophic consequences when that power is mismanaged. It's a story of failure, but also one of incredible heroism, sacrifice, and the enduring resilience of both nature and the human spirit. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the history of Chernobyl. It's a complex and sobering story, and it's vital that we never forget the lessons learned. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more historical explorations. Let us know in the comments what other historical events you'd like to see us cover. Until next time, stay curious.